has the definition of racism changed, or are we just arguing about words? What counted as racism 50 years ago isn't always what people argue about today. Some say racism used to be obvious and intentional. Others say it was always deeper. We just didn't have the language. So who decides what racism means now? In the past, racism was often defined in clear terms: segregation, exclusion, open discrimination. It was visible, loud, and unapologetic. Intent mattered. People openly believed in racial hierarchy. There was little confusion about what it was, but modern debates feel more complicated. Now the argument often shifts to systems and structures. Policies that don't mention race can still produce unequal outcomes. Some call that racism without racists. Others say that stretches the definition too far. One major divide is intent versus impact. If someone doesn't mean harm, can it still be racist? For some, intent is everything. For others, impact outweighs intention. This difference fuels endless arguments online. Language has also evolved. Terms like microaggressions and implicit bias entered mainstream culture. Supporters say they describe subtle realities. Critics say they blur the line between prejudice and misunderstanding. The battlefield is now partly linguistic. Older generations often view racism differently than younger ones. Many compare today's tensions to the 1960s or 1990s. They ask, how can things be worse now? Younger voices argue progress doesn't erase inequality. Generational memory shapes perception. Social media intensified everything. Moments go viral in seconds. Accusations spread faster than context. Public judgment can arrive before investigation. And definitions become hashtags. Another tension is power. Some argue racism requires institutional power. Others believe prejudice alone is enough. If power is part of the definition, the debate shifts. If it's not, the debate shifts differently. Education systems also influence the narrative. Universities, activists, commentators, and politicians all frame racism in specific ways. Each group emphasizes different elements. That shapes how society understands the word. Some fear the term is being diluted. If everything becomes racism, they argue, the word loses moral force. Others counter that ignoring subtle forms protects injustice. There's also emotional weight attached to the label. Being called racist can feel like a character attack. That defensiveness changes the conversation. Instead of discussing behavior, people protect identity, and dialogue shuts down. Meanwhile, others feel minimizing racism invalidates lived experiences. If the definition stays too narrow, certain harms go unnamed, and silence can feel like denial. So has the definition changed or expanded? Is this progress in awareness or confusion in standards? Who ultimately decides what racism means? And what happens when society can't agree on the answer?